In the upper layers of the sky, far beyond where birds dare fly and clouds begin to thin into glowing mist, there exists a world few remember, but all dream of. That world is called Velamara. Suspended in the upper firmament, Velamara is not bound by the laws of gravity or time. It drifts slowly through an endless twilight, where the sun never quite sets and the stars remain faintly visible even at midday. The people of Velamara do not call it a city or a country, they simply call it the float. The float is composed of hundreds of isles of rock, crystal, and light, each lazily drifting along invisible currents of sky energy. These sky isles are tethered together not by chains or ropes, but by radiant strands of woven air known as sky thread. The sky thread pulses faintly with a rhythm like a sleeping heartbeat, and the isles respond to each other like dancers in slow motion. The air here is scented with lightning flowers and soft vapor. The wind doesn't howl, it sighs. There is no need to hurry in Velamara. Even the wind walks instead of runs. The ground on each isle is covered in moss that glows faintly underfoot and gives off warmth at night. Trees in Velamara are tall and thin, their branches like silver lace stretching high above. Their leaves fall in slow spirals, drifting for hours before ever touching the ground. Birds here have translucent wings and make no sound, and the insects hum in harmonies tuned to the stars. The people of Velamara are known as the Eliari. They are soft-spoken and slow-moving, not out of laziness, but because they believe every movement has meaning and should never be wasted. They wear robes of wind cloth and walk barefoot so they can feel the pulse of the sky beneath them. Their homes are open, no doors, only curtains of flowing glass beads and shells, swaying gently in the ever-present breeze. The Eliari spend their days tending to their gardens, writing poems on floating leaves, and listening to the voices of the sky. They believe the sky speaks to those who are quiet enough to hear it. They do not use clocks. Time in Velamara is marked by the color of the light. Morning is pale gold. Midday is soft white. Evening is lavender. Night is the deepest shade of indigo, so dark and rich that it feels like velvet against the skin. The float has many places of wonder. The Whispering Basin is a natural concave pool of still air where thoughts seem louder and secrets can be heard drifting in from other isles. The Spiral Grove is a circular forest where the trees bend inward, creating a perfect dome where the stars are always visible, no matter the time. Then there is the Luminarium, a vast open platform of translucent stone that glows from within. Here, the Eliari gather to sing without words, letting tones rise into the sky like smoke from a fire. Their harmonies create currents that shift the isles gently, like steering with music. The Eliari do not travel by boat or balloon. They use drift pads, small levitating discs grown from crystal fungi that respond to thought and emotion. A calm mind drifts slowly and smoothly. A rushed or anxious mind makes the pad tremble or veer off course. So to move well in Velamara, one must first be still. The skies of Velamara are not empty. They are filled with sky beasts, enormous creatures that swim through the air like whales in the sea. Some are long and slender, like ribbon fish, trailing bioluminescent fins. Others resemble giant manta rays, their bellies casting shadows over the isles as they pass. The Eliari do not fear them. They believe sky beasts are the guardians of the float, and that when one dies, it becomes a new isle, its bones turning to crystal and its breath becoming wind. The history of Velamara is not kept in books, but in memory clouds. glowing orbs of condensed story that float above the heads of the elders. When an Eliari dies, their thoughts, memories, and emotions are gently gathered into a memory cloud and released into the spiral grove, where they join the sky forever. There are no kings or rulers in Velamara. Instead, decisions are made by listening to the wind. If the wind chimes in a certain way, or the clouds move a particular direction, the people interpret it together and follow its guidance. To outsiders, this might seem like chaos, but in Velamara, it is harmony. There is a belief here that the sky knows more than any person ever could. Once every turning of the sky, a cycle that lasts 54 of our days, the isles gather close for the skyfold, a celestial alignment where all the isles' lights pulse in unison and the central luminarium emits a low hum that can be felt in the bones. During this time, the Eliari fast from sound. They do not speak, sing, or play music. They simply listen to the hum of the float, allowing it to realign their hearts and minds. Those who have experienced it say the silence is the loudest thing they've ever heard. Sometimes, when the wind is very quiet and the clouds form just right, a new isle appears, seemingly from nowhere. These new isles are always different. Some are covered in ruins. Others are blank slates of glowing stone. Some pulse with light and hum like a heartbeat. The Eliari call these wild-born isles and believe they are formed from dreams that become too heavy to float alone. No one owns a wild-born. They are visited and left untouched. If you close your eyes right now and breathe softly, you might catch the feeling of Velamara. It lives not just above us, but within us, in the quiet spaces between thoughts, in the pause before sleep, in the hush after rain. Velamara is not a place you go. It is a place you remember. Maybe it's where we all came from, before we fell into the heaviness of the world. Or maybe it's where we're meant to return, when we finally learn to let go. When you lie in bed and the world feels heavy, think of the sky above the sky. Think of the isles that drift in violet twilight, the people who walk slowly, the beasts that fly without fear. Think of the lights that glow softly beneath your feet, and the wind that knows your name. In that thought, in that quiet image, Velamara lives again. And maybe, just maybe, if you listen closely enough, it's calling you back. Back to the float. Back to Velamara.